This is the best moments of the BBQ Central Show in 10 minutes or less. Ever wish you could re-listen to your favorite interview or segment? Do you enjoy hearing older shows for the first time in years? Then the best moments of the BBQ Central Show in 10 minutes or less is just what you need. Thanks for listening and enjoy the show.
I missed my cue. Here we go. Hi, John Solberg. I'm your host for the best moments of the BBQ Central Show in 10 minutes or less. And I'm always happy to tell you that this show is brought to you by The Butcher Shop, purveyors of highly sought after 100% Australian non-crossbred Waimara 9+ briskets that are always handpicked just for you. The Butcher Shop has been retailing the finest meats for more than 15 years. Every week, they're shipping out competition-quality meats to many of the biggest teams in the competition scene across the nation. Simply put, teams who use the Butcher Shop win, and they win often. Now, you don't have to be a competitor to enjoy these finer cuts. The Butcher Shop is shipping some of the finest prime, dry-aged Australian Wagyu and Japanese Wagyu steaks to people just like you and me who aspire to be the kings and queens of the cul-de-sac. The Butcher Shop always has Berkshire, Compart Duroc, Allegiance Duroc, and Prairie Fresh all-natural pork in stock. And again, it is always hand-picked just for you. Let's take a look at this. They got the best competition briskets. They do. They've got the best pork selection, absolutely. They give you a better overall option to cook at home. So you need to give the Butcher Shop a call today. 850-458-8782. 850-458-8782. You mentioned the BBQ Central Show. They're giving you 10% off your entire order each and every time you call. You can also go check them out on Facebook. Facebook.com/The Butcher Shop. Shop is spelled SHOPPE. The Butcher Shop, home of the 100% Australia non-crossbred Waimara 9+ briskets. And speaking of butchers in general, let's go back to where we go in 2014. Greg's going to catch up with Dave Bosca.
Proudly, or proudly welcome back. My friend David Bosca, Butcher Barbecue. Dave, Happy New Year, buddy. How are you?
Hey, thanks, Greg. Glad to be back.
I'm always happy to have you. Appreciate you making the time, Dave. You know, a few different things I want to chat with you about tonight. So let's start with the topic I have been desperately trying to work in with you these past few times, but for whatever reason, time-wise, just hasn't been able to work out. But a topic perhaps no one even wants to consider or hear about, but I think it's high time we open up some dialogue here on this show, namely horse meat. And I'm sure just the mere mention of it sounds wrong to the vast majority of us in a general sense. And as someone who is, you know, like yourself, in the meat business, how does the term horse meat strike you right off the cuff?
Well, it doesn't matter to me one way or the other. Horse meat to me is no different than any other meat. Lamb, goat, rabbit, beef, veal. Horse meat's horse meat.
Have you partaken in a horse meat consumption?
No, I've never ate any. Can't say I have. At one of the annual meetings we had with the Oklahoma and Texas Meat Processors Association, I sat on the board for that. We had a meeting where we met with a guy out of Russia that they were large in making sausages with it. I learned a lot about how the attributes of it and some good things you can do with it, but I can't say I've ever had the delicacy of it.
Dave, do you think that there is, and we're talking in a general public way at this point, obviously, but do you think that there is an aversion or a step back when you mention horse because it seems to be more of a domesticated animal like a dog or a cat versus something more traditional like, as you mentioned, a cow or a pig or a chicken or a goat?
Well, it's only that way here in the United States. My wife and I was actually talking about it a little earlier, and she had a good point. She said, you know, you can talk to any ag student out there right now that shows beef or shows anything like that, and they know that the goal of them, their beef is going to get slaughtered. But as they raise them, they pamper them, they take care of them. It's a 2 and 3 time a day nurturing of these show animals, and they become pets to them too. No, they don't want to slaughter them. They don't want to take them to the market, for lack of better words, but that's the goal. That's what they're doing it for. That breed is raised for that purpose. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Finish your thought there, Dave.
And if we had horses the same way, that would be instilled in us. Now, my wife and I, we raise miniature horses, so we have horses. We've got 11, 12 horses here on the place. And as a horse grower, raiser, breeder, my wife shows them. I'm going to tell you, she's been the last couple of years, she's been the president of their local association. And having an outlet as a horse kill was a good thing for the horse growers associations. That gave them an outlet. A lot of people wouldn't think of us as being that way, but the reason so is if you have a horse that is bad, if it's not in conformation right, or it has a disease, you have nothing to do with it other than shooting it yourself and taking it to a ditch. You need to have an outlet for everything. We have outlets for dogs. We have outlets for the beef, the goats. We don't have anything for horses. So what happens is they raise up. The diseases continue to grow in the bloodlines. The bad, or you, for lack of a better word, you put them out to pasture, and eventually you'll sell them as a pet. But someone always wants to breed that animal, even if it's a 20-year-old mare or something like that. They always end up getting bred. So it continues and it passes on. So having an outlet like a slaughtering ability would help with that.
I'm just showing two cuts of horse meat. Believe it or not, when the newsletter went out earlier today, there's a guy over in England who said, hey, oddly enough, we just did a demo with horse meat, and he sent me a picture of what it looked like uncooked, and then he also sent me a picture of what it looked like after the fact. And it does look a little different to the eye than what most people are used to seeing when it comes to traditional beef. But the end product looked, fairly desirable. This particular guy said it actually had a little bit of a gamey taste. And again, he would prefer a steak over a horse meat sirloin or a cow sirloin or whatever over a horse meat sirloin. But by and large, as you kind of pointed out there up at the top, Dave, we're probably the only country that thinks like this. And evidently in Italy, this is something that you could possibly find on any restaurant menu. They cook with it quite often. If you're making meatball or some other type of where you just need meat, a horse is something that you're going to find in there. So the long-winded question is this. Do you think that there would be a viable market for horse meat here in this country?
You want to get Dave's answer to that long-winded question? I'm going to say how to do that right now. Head over to the bbqcentralshow.com. There will be a link in today's show notes that's going to take you to this complete episode. It's a great show. It's a great conversation. It's where it all kind of began. The save the horse meat industry thingy. It kind of went away, but it was a big thing for a while. Actually, I need to focus on that a little bit more. And until I do, just remember, this is the best moments of the Barbecue Central show in 10 minutes or less. I'm your host, John Solberg. I look forward to talking to you again soon.